So our motto at FCL is Sustainable Future Cities through science, by design, in place. Through science, because we think that to achieve sustainability, science is essential. Science provides the framework for understanding how cities develop and interact with the environment at different scales. By design, because a sustainable city must also be livable, and to achieve livability, design is also essential. So we see design as a collaborative process that combines analytical techniques, creative techniques, and transdisciplinary knowledge to generate new ideas and apply them. And finally, in place, because science and design are only effective if they serve existing places. So our research focuses on different places. So we are looking at compact cities in Southeast Asia with high density population, but we are also looking at extended cities with a mosaic of urban and rural situations. So it could be anywhere in Asia and also India. So we are addressing different facets of cities, so from data to people to energy systems, resilience, and so on. And today I will present to you what we do regarding data and how we use data to inform urban planning and design processes. I will start with an example of one of our projects. So it's called Earthscape. So it's a tool to quickly investigate urban situations and to perform a first evaluation, a first analysis to support decision making. So it's a platform that aggregates multiple data sets and provides an interface to filter the information you need. So here, for example, we are in the city of Palembang in Indonesia, and we want to locate the areas where people are the most vulnerable. So in this scenario, we are filtering different data sets. So we want to, for example, know where is the flood risk. We want also to have the density of population, the poverty level, the land use, and we can combine all these different data sets to identify the different areas that are meeting these requirements. So this is a tool very easy to use for stakeholders, government stakeholders, to perform a first analysis. Another project that we are doing at FCL is called social sensing. So in this project, we use social media data to detect human patterns and understand appreciation of spaces. So on the left, you can see a map of Singapore with geolocated social media tweets related to art and culture. So basically where people speak about art and culture on Instagram, on Twitter. And what we want to do is to compare this crowdsourced information with the official cultural places planned by the Singaporean government. So we want to compare if the official cultural spaces are really lively and used by the citizens. In the right, we are using geolocated Twitter records across different cities in the US. So this is Chicago. And we derive socioeconomic profiles of people based on their mobility patterns. So based on the places you visit, we try to derive your socioeconomic profile. So if you are visiting an affluent neighborhood, you are most likely to be affluent. So we derive the socioeconomic profile like this. And then we identify the user with a high income profile, and we use them as an indicator group to show that their visitation patterns can be an indicator for expected future rent increases in different neighborhoods. So an indicator for gentrification. Cooling Singapore is another important project that we are leading in our center. So it deals with the urban heat island effect. So I don't know if you're familiar with this phenomenon. The urban heat island effect is a phenomenon where buildings, roads, and vehicles release heat into the environment, so especially at night. And studies have shown that in Singapore, this phenomenon has caused temperature differences of up to 7 degrees between built and non-built areas. So this is really important. So in this initiative, we work with different stakeholders, universities, local governments, to mitigate the effects of urban heat island effect. And again, it starts with data. So here you can see a visualization of the urban heat island effect. So it's within a day. So during night it's quite warm. And so you can see in the morning there is the peak hour, so the traffic generates a lot of heat in the island, then it cools down in the afternoon. And then in the peak hour in the afternoon, you will see again a new heat release in the urban environment here. And then this heat is really kept. I mean, it's really stocked by the urban environment. It stays in the island, and that's why it's warmer at night than during the day. So from this data, we want to develop roadmaps and mitigation strategies to guide policies and help coordinate long-term actions in this very important challenge of urban heat island effect. My last example is about what we call citizen design science. So we've seen that computers, models, platforms can be very useful to plan and build new cities, but we also want to use information from the citizen, information from the crowd. So how do we do that? We have developed a tool, so it's a very simple tool that people can use online. So it's a 3D tool, and people, just like in SimCity, can design their own neighborhood. So they can play with different building typologies, different public spaces, green areas, and so on, and they can design the neighborhood they would like to live in. And we are using this information to inform the design and planning processes. So to collect this feedbacks from the citizen, we are organizing different workshops in different areas of Singapore. So we have done that for greenfield development in the city center of Singapore, but we have also done smaller scale projects for public spaces, for roads that are going to be pedestrian in Singapore and even in China. So that brings up a more fundamental question, which is what future city do we want to build? And that's the main mission of FCL with its different partners. So we are not only here to build models, platforms, we really wish to nurture a conversation on the future of cities. And I hope that the examples I gave today illustrate quite well this idea of the future cities. So this conversation is a global conversation, and we are always eager to engage with new stakeholders and to learn from experiences of different people. So feel free to reach me out and visit our center in Singapore.